Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm John.
And I'm Kevin.
And I'm Mike.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
Good day.
Hey, John.
Hello.
Oh, can you sweep my chimney?
Hey, with some bunch of friends. Wait, what? Are we in Victorian England? Yeah, sounds like it, huh? No one ever accused me of being a good Australian accent impersonator.
Welcome back for episode 2 of our breakdown of Crocodile Dundee.
And welcome back, Mike, the original, the best.
Glad to be back.
Oh, man, we're so glad you're with us.
And also greetings to everyone listening on the Last of the Action Heroes podcast network. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're listening to us on our feed, go check out the podcast network. They have awesome podcasts about Stallone and Seagal and
Van Damme is a new one they just added.
Yeah, there's going to be some Van Damme content coming soon. James Bond stuff was living over there. And
You won't be sorry for long.
Dolph Lundgren. Yeah, there's tons of awesome stuff to check out. So by all means, do so.
But I'll tell you what they don't have, Kevin and Mike. They don't have a Paul Hogan podcast, and that's where we come in.
It'd be like 3 episodes long.
Now, the crazy thing about podcasts, you can podcast about anything. I remember when I first got into this stuff, there was a podcast about dog sled racing, right? I mean,
Sure,
how
yeah.
specific can you get, right?
There's probably a dozen now.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to think that in Australia, there's a Paul Hogan
Oh, he's
podcast.
probably doing his own podcast,
Yeah.
getting paid.
I guarantee you he probably is, just like talking about his life and exploits.
In Australia, they call him Hoges.
Really?
That's like his
That's
little
pretty
nickname.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's
He's
pretty sweet.
Hoges.
It's Hoges. Hoges.
Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, Crocodile Dundee, 1986, probably the best movie ever made.
One of the best movies of that year. For
Definitely,
sure.
yeah. Number 2 at the box office behind a little film called Top Gun that did all right.
I also love that shit.
This movie did not star Tom Cruise. Little
No,
known fact.
it started a young 47-year-old ingenue
Baby-faced.
That's
making
right.
his first
Paul
film
Hogan.
appearance.
He was doing his best Harrison Ford impersonation.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he was just doing his own impersonation. He had his own vibe. He was
Better
doing his
late
own
than
thing.
never.
Oh, I mean, if that's anything that we can learn from Paul Hogan's life story, it's that it's better late than never. Man's
Yeah.
83 years old and still, one assumes, living in the lap of luxury.
I feel like Paul Hogan wasn't really acting in this movie. I feel like he was really playing himself. And they just like put a camera in front of him.
You're probably not wrong about that. So I guess I will get us caught up on what happened in the last movie. So it opens up in the last movie. I'll get us caught up on what happened in the last chapter.
That's
so
the
in
Foster's talking, folks.
Yeah, we are drinking Foster's tonight.
It's Australian for drunk.
I think it's American for Australian for beer.
It's not bad.
No, it
have zero
tastes like
complaints.
beer. So in the first chapter, we overhear a conversation between Sue and Richard. Richard is in New York. Sue is in Australia. He is her kind of boss. She is doing a story or wants to do a story on a guy.
He's her erstwhile lover.
Right, and they're lovers. Anyway, long story longer, she's in Australia to do a story on this guy that dragged himself out of the swamp after being bit in half by a crocodile and lived to tell the tale. When she gets there, she finds that he is a pretty good dancer and a rabble-rouser in the local pub. Anyway, for $2,500, you too can fly to the Australian Outback and have your story told, or have your story garnered by one Mick Dundee, played by Paul Hogan. So anyway, he and his business partner Walt take Sue out to the bush, and then Walt leaves them there for a short walkabout
Yeah.
to see what happened to Mick and how he survived.
Right. The premise is he's going to take her through his adventurous journey of how he survived this crocodile attack. So, as they're walking through the brush, Dundee's asking her if she's doing okay. She's like, yeah, I'm fine. Dundee says, it's about another hour, but, with you being a Sheila, it'll probably take 2. It's like...
Misogyny. Misogyny.
Sue's annoyed by that. She just says, well, I guess I'll just do the best I can. And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, that's all you can do. You're a woman.
The thing is, to me, Hogan does a great job, yes, he's sexist. But he doesn't seem like it's malicious.
Yeah.
I think he was just
born that way.
He speaks his mind. There's no filter.
Right.
Which isn't always a good thing.
No.
But I don't think he's like, I hate women.
Yeah.
I think he's just like, you're a city girl. You're going to slow me down. I'd be cruising. And maybe he would be, but...
Yeah, and I think he would say the same thing if I was out there with him, right? Not that I would be a Sheila, but I would think that he would say, you're a city
slicker. Tenderfoot.
Yeah, you're not used to the bush. Step your game up.
But he is, making, whatever, I guess, prejudiced assumptions about who she must be when he doesn't really know her. But no one would move as fast as him by himself, surely. He'd just run it. Anyway, they come to this dried riverbed. Dundee shows Sue the remains of his boat.
Mm-hmm.
It's wrapped around a tree. It's got a big bite, like a chunk taken out of it. She's asking him how big was that croc, and he says it was 16 to 18 feet.
Jesus Christ.
That is huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. That's longer than your car.
I don't know croc sizes, but that sounds like it's a big croc.
Big ass lizard, man. So she says, and you were out here hunting crocodiles in that?
No, that's illegal. I was just fishing.
And I like the way he says it.
It's everything.
The way he says it, he kind of does this slow, nah, that's illegal.
That's illegal. Yeah, it's a great performance for a guy who's not a trained actor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all in the eyes. You could tell, they understand each other.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm not going to tell you that I was out here hunting crocodiles.
So I wanted to talk about this a little bit later, but I guess we should talk about it now. I've never understood why crocodile hunting was illegal. Now, I understand why. I kind of get it now that I've done a little research because I guess they were endangered at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you would think,
like elephants, anything that people hunt for shitty reasons.
Over hunt, yeah.
Yeah.
But you would think that out of anything that you'd want to hunt, it would be a crocodile, right? You would think you'd want to...
Something that's dangerous to people.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that it's just from a purely scientific standpoint, you're talking about the closest living relative left of a dinosaur.
Sure.
For
and
sure.
it's it is a direct... Sharks and crocodiles are the two links that we have. And certainly probably thousands of species of fish and other things that we have never seen that are direct links to a bygone, eon. So I guess it's that. I'm with you. It's if push came to shove, I'd be fucking kill the thing. I would not want
I think,
to.
if you're getting attacked, surely you're allowed to kill
exactly.
it.
Sure, yeah.
But I also, I presume there was a shortage in the 80s, an endangered...
I guess I'm basing that more on what kind of happens later in the film, which I guess is coming up in a minute, where they're hunting the kangaroo, and it's he has no problem with that.
Well, kangaroo are a nuisance.
That from you, I understand they run amok. They're sort of like deer in parts of the U.S. Possums
or squirrels even. It's
raccoons
they're
and
all
shit.
over the
There's just no
place.
shortage of them,
Yeah.
and they can cause havoc. They also, I know they filmed in a national park. I don't know if they're supposed to be in a national park doing this shit, where you can't just hunt animals in a national park that you might be able to hunt outside of a park.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, he's very careful with his words here as far as about the poaching.
Yeah. And why would you hunt? I mean, you're not hunting it for the meat,
It's
right?
not, and it's
Are you
not
hunting it for the skin?
It's not
you sell the skin.
you're not going bow hunting, or if you're hanging out in a boat shooting at it with a rifle. I don't know that that's sporting,
right.
But she asks him how he managed to escape. He sort of explains crocodile hunting behavior, says, the crocodile wanted to take him down for a death roll and then take him to his meat safe to tenderize him. It's like some terrifying shit.
Oh, yeah.
Death roll is for real, though. I did try to look it up, and they'll bite a thing and take it underwater and drown it to kill it.
What's the guy's name in Jaws who tells the
Quint.
This is his Quint.
Yeah,
this is his Quint story.
Yeah.
And he says it like Quint.
He savors it, doesn't
he? He wants to scare her, right?
But yeah, he's like saying, they'll take you under, then they'll go wedge you under a log or under a rock and let the water like tenderize you.
Yeah,
like,
but he ain't talking about like a deer or like anything. He's talking about like humans, right? Like he's seen or he's heard of this story before.
Well, and you ladies of Spain.
He says when the croc released him to try to get a better grip, Dundee killed it.
Can you imagine?
With the knife, you think?
Yeah.
Not with the rifle?
Yeah, I would have thought with a knife.
Amazing.
Because, I think like he probably trying to get him in a death roll. He was out of the boat at that point.
Yeah, been dragged out.
I can't think. There are a few things that I can think of as being worse. Like drowning, burning alive, being killed by something else.
An animal.
Being killed by
like
something
a grizzly bear or
No,
something.
thank you.
It is terrifying, the thought of like an animal attacking.
Yeah.
Don't like it.
So now Sue finds all these spent rifle shells in the wrecked boat.
What?
It's like, and you were just out here fishing. He's like, well.
Barramundi's a bloody big fish.
He said with a grin. Like, yeah, they're definitely on the same page.
Yeah.
Now, later on, they've made camp. It's gotten dark. And I also did read where, like, in filming, the cast and crew really were living, like, out in huts.
God, that's awesome.
In the wilderness. They weren't going back to town every night
They
to
did
sleep.
that anyway, right?
Or whatever.
That's what they do.
Probably.
Yeah.
So Dundee, he asks Sue if she's ever been married. She says she was once to a guy who crusaded for a lot of, like, liberal causes. I guess that dude crops up in the sequel, like her ex-husband as a character.
Totally.
It's like, she says, you name it, he marched. Anti-nuke, women's lib, save the whales. He's probably marching right now for the gay Nazis. And then Dundee is like, sounds like a prize rat bag. I was like, okay.
What are his politics?
No, well, I don't know. I don't know if there's ever a reason to march for like Nazi rights.
Right.
But,
no, never.
She sort of defends the guy's intentions as, he had noble intentions. She asked Dundee about his own politics. Like, what do you think about nuclear arms race? None of my business.
Yeah.
It's like, that gave me the shades of, like, Mary talking to Treebeard.
Yeah.
About, like, war in Middle-earth, and he's just like, you're part of this world, aren't you? But, yeah.
But not really.
We're not on anybody's side because no one's on our side. Nobody's on our side.
A minute ago, you were talking about, like, John came from Houston, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about if there was a nuclear attack, then Houston's going to be one of the first places to go, right?
Definitely.
Tactical reasons,
Nobody's going to, like, be blasting Australia, right? So,
well, not where Dundee lives.
Yeah, not where he lives,
not
right?
in the Northwest Territory.
He really has no worries, right? He really, or not that he doesn't have any worries.
But, I get you are part of the world. Like, if a world war is going to affect the world in which you live. The same way, like, you could be living where he lives and say, well, global warming, why am I concerned?
Yeah, but that's
it's like, well, it does affect everybody.
But I don't think, like, some homeless guy on the streets of Atlanta are worried about a nuclear war attack, right?
They do have more immediate, like, concerns, I guess.
Like eating and stuff. But for Mick, I mean, I guess it would come down to, like, eventually scorched earth is going to affect your ability to catch a barramundi or a crocodile or anything.
And
like
if
that.
anybody's going to survive a nuclear attack, it's going to be
Dundee. He would have turned up in like Mad Max.
Yes,
it would have been amazing. Actually,
he is the humongous.
So Sue asks him about, well, what about the Aboriginal people's struggle to get their land back? And this is kind of weird to me. He's like saying, well, they don't own the land. They belong to it.
Yeah.
And he compares it to people arguing over who owns land as like fleas arguing over who owns the dog that they live on.
Or that mountain.
Which is not really an answer.
It makes me wonder what Australian native people politics are as compared to the U.S. If maybe they're like, that's your sacred land, you can have your sacred land. Whereas the U.S. government's like, we're going to put you somewhere else.
We're going to
take your sacred land
because there's gold there.
So it makes me wonder if maybe the rules are slightly different in Australia.
Yeah,
I can't answer that.
We don't really know those. the politics of Australia and the history as well as we might. So
That line sounds a little bit entitled, though.
it sounds like a sort of
for sure. Now that you say
we
that,
should
that
all
way.
just get along.
Yeah.
And it's like,
but you weren't the
that's
one that
easy to
was
say
pushed
when
off your
you're
land.
not the oppressed person.
Yeah.
Right.
But it is a nice and noble virtue. I mean, if everyone agreed, like most people just want to live and let live, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's what Native Americans want. Can we not just live where we've lived historically and not be pushed off our land?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Like, we'd take that deal. Anyway, sorry, we got off topic.
What?
Steering back towards Crocodile Dundee.
But again, it's like, it goes back to Paul Hogan, the screenwriter, right? I kind of feel like he was being respectful of
I think he was
Australia.
probably trying to be, yeah.
So I don't, is that just the way that people thought back then in the 80s about Australia?
Or is that even some, like we were talking about in the last episode, the reconciliation? Maybe this is pre-reconciliation thinking.
Yeah, that's
Something-
why we're out of the loop on what was the current events of the day
Yeah.
that was going on there. Dundee, he continues to sort of wax poetic about how all the creatures just want to be left in peace to do their own thing, while he like casually picks up a snake that's like been slithering up behind Sue and he kills it.
Okay.
I like the irony of him saying like, all the creatures just want to be left in peace as he's like killing a creature.
in his natural habitat.
Sure.
Yep.
I do love this exchange where he's like, she's stunned, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's a king brown. And she's like,
Poisonous?
poisonous? Oh, yeah, deadly. Not bad eating, but they always give me gas.
Yeah. And I think the King Brown is probably one of the
Deadliest in the
deadliest
world.
of the
I'm
world.
not surprised by that.
I love that line of, oh, yeah, deadly. Like, are you kidding?
You better snuggle up next to me tonight.
Sure.
Manipulation.
But yeah, Dundee, so
Yeah, if you look at it in a different light, he's not really a good guy.
he's
Is he?
creeping on her.
Yeah.
No,
He just wants to cuddle.
I think he's just speaking facts. I think he's matter of fact, like, oh yeah, it's a deadly motherfucker. Yeah, she asked her, there are others around? And he's like, oh, there might probably the one or two. Yeah, just stick close to me. You'll be all right. Like, when's he going to hear one slithering up while he's sleeping? And maybe he
Probably.
will.
I think he would.
I think he would too.
So Dundee and a very paranoid Sue hunker down to sleep. It was a nice touch from Kozlowski, like looking in her sleeping bag, you know, which I wouldn't even think about. But man, if you were like camping out west, you probably do want to look in your
definitely see
sleeping
if
bag.
there's a tarantula or
rattlesnake
something
in there
there.
or some shit. So Dundee thinks he hears something,
Right.
and he's, you know, and she's like, "What is that?" He says, "Oh, don't worry, it's nothing." Goes to sleep. It's like,
What the?
I think we already know well enough to know that if he thinks he hears something,
Definitely
then
heard
there's
something.
something out there,
Yeah, but
right?
didn't he do that to kind of spook her?
No,
I think he actually heard
I
something.
think he already heard the hunters.
Yeah.
Like he might have heard those truck engines 5 miles away or some shit.
So the way I saw that scene is he'd already killed the snake and she's already spooked, right?
Mhm.
uh-huh.
And so then he wants her to be close to him, right? Or
I don't read that he's trying to. I don't think he's predatory on her. I don't think he's trying to make her scared. I don't read it that way personally.
So they lay down and he gets up and he's like, "What was that?" And she like looks off and then he kind of like looks over her, almost like he's like smells her or something like that. I don't know, like he's sniffing her, and then he's like, "Oh, it's nothing," and then whatever he was talking about, he completely just drops that conversation, right?
Yeah.
And then he lays down and they show a shot of him with his hat over his face, kind of, and he gives like the slightest smile, like, "Oh yeah, I've got her spooked now."
That's
right?
interesting. I personally want to believe the best about Dundee and he's just a straight up legit, but he might also be trying to give her the experience of. It'll be a good story if she talks about how scared she was.
Now, I think there is no harm in playfully teasing somebody. It's kind of like, you pull the girl's hair, like, but you really like them,
When
kind
you
of
were a
deal.
kid. Yeah, totally.
Not
I
now.
think it's now you
I
can.
tried that the other day. She didn't like
Now
it.
you're getting locked up, right? But I'm saying I think it's a little bit of the pulling of the hair, right, to tease them because
Yeah, sure.
I like you, but I'm going to tease you a little bit.
Okay. Bolstering, like the fact that he might have heard something is cut to, she snaps awake and there's gunfire and revving engines, all sorts of commotion. Dundee's gone.
Right.
She goes towards the noise. She finds like these drunk guys in 4x4s just shooting kangaroos for fun.
Right.
As they whip around in
in
their trucks.
North Georgia.
Yeah. It's those same dudes from the pub. Like
Right.
the same
Yeah,
assholes from
yeah.
the pub. Yeah, so Dundee is there. He grabs her, ducks down as bullets whiz overhead. Dundee tells her it's those city cowboys looking for kicks. She asks, what are you going to do about it? And he's like saying, he seems content, whatever. There's no law against it. Like,
Right.
That's always bothered. I mean, and like, I guess you
there's
you explained
not,
it a
I
little bit
guess.
earlier that kangaroos are
It is
in
shitty.
abundance.
They're sort of like, I mean, and this is not my personal view, anyone listening, but I mean, they're so prevalent. I mean, they're all over the place. It's sort of like a vermin situation.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I also think that when you think of Australia, you think of kangaroos, right?
Sure.
Right.
Like that's like literally one of the first things you think of.
And I think it can bother you as a human being with
Sure.
emotions and feelings.
Yeah.
And also not be illegal though. Like the same way that people will go and pay however much money to go hunt a lion.
Mm-hmm.
And that bothers me. Like that people do that to a majestic animal,
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's not illegal, I guess, if that's what you
but
want
I-
to do. If you get your jollies from killing.
I fucking feel that way about squirrels, and people are like, "Don't let squirrels will ruin your house and they do all this shit." And I'm like, I mean, it's a fucking squirrel. I'm not
you don't
going to
want
kill
to
a squirrel.
invite it to live in your attic, though.
Yeah,
I do have a
Exactly. No.
garden. I'm not a big squirrel fan. But it's always just
Bad
been...
illustration.
Yeah, it's
Kill
always
the
just
squirrel.
been bad. I've never understood...
I've never kill a squirrel. You never kill a squirrel intentionally. You just want it to not eat your shit.
Sure.
Right,
It
right.
just always struck me as odd that killing a crocodile, which is literally dangerous and can kill you,
Yeah.
was always like frowned upon. I'm not saying you should kill anything, but it's just weird that killing a crocodile was like this big taboo bad thing, and then killing kangaroos was like no big deal whatsoever.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think he finds it distasteful,
yeah, that's a great word to use.
but I don't think that he's like, I'm not going to go and interfere. Like, it's the same as any, like,
I don't have the right.
dudes
to
can
do
be in
it.
a bar acting obnoxious, but they're not breaking it. Like, I'm not going to go tell them to shut up or whatever.
Right.
I don't know. But when Dundee sees how much it's upsetting Sue,
He's like,
he does
"Fuck them."
take action. I mean, she's got a point. Like, there's no sport in just getting drunk and shooting at animals for fun.
Yeah.
Like, they're not even like, it's not like they're harvesting the fur or the meat for
Right.
any reason.
Leaving them dead.
They're just out
there.
here to have kicks on the weekend or whatever. But so one of the drunken cowboys, he hops out of the truck to take a piss. It's that dude that Dundee laid out earlier
Right.
with the punch. Yeah. He spots a kangaroo staring at him. He tells his boys, like,
Shine the spotlight on
yeah,
it.
shine a spotlight. And they see the kangaroo's got a gun.
What the fuck?
Shots ring out as Dundee is like making a variety of just very dangerous shots.
And it's like throughout the movie, Mick almost kills a lot of people. Like he shoots the first dude in the gun that he's
in
holding.
the gun that he's holding right in front of his abdomen.
Shoots out the spotlight that the dude's holding.
And there's no way he's getting good aim
Shoots
with the
at
way
a beer
he's
can
shooting.
that the dude's holding.
I mean, he's that good, I
think
guess.
he's that good. I think that that's one of the... I don't want to say frustrating, but that's the word. That's the only word I can think of. I think that's one of the frustrating things about the movie is that Mick has to tell these tall tales about himself, but he's actually the person that he
Pretends to be, yeah.
right? I think
I agree
every
with
single
that.
shot that he made, he intended to make that shot. Like he intended to shoot the guy's gun.
Oh, sure.
He intended to shoot the light out. He intended to shoot the beer out of that dude's hand.
Now,
right?
maybe he doesn't think of himself as anything special. But he is special. But
Yeah.
maybe, like, if you're Superman, if you're the Beastmaster, do you think of yourself as like, I'm really special, I'm the Beastmaster? Or are you just like, I
Beastmaster.
wish, like, I don't really like the attention?
This is
Sure.
Kodo, and this is Podo.
Yeah, but then I just don't.
This is
Then
rude.
why go through the whole tell the tall tales part of himself? You know,
I guess he was. Did he
He's building
spread his
up
own
this
legend, or
legend.
was
It's
it
for
more
tourism.
Wally?
It's
it's
for
building
tourism.
up this legend.
I think
Yeah.
he's playing the part. Wally did. This is all Wally's fault.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
bastard.
But man, yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Like he's just shooting at these dudes without taking proper aim at all.
Okay.
He's like supremely confident
In
in
his
his
kangaroo
accuracy.
skin costume.
Yeah. So the city cowboys, they flee for their lives, and Sue's cheering.
Woohoo!
Dundee sort of stands up from behind the kangaroo, gives her a big smile. And it's one of those perfect like movie moments.
Oh yeah,
you know,
where
with
he's
the
like
music
holding
and everything.
the rifle and the light behind him. It's a great
man,
shot.
That's why I love fucking movies, dude. So the next morning, Dundee pulls that shaving gag where he's like using a razor, a Bic, whatever. But when he sees Sue coming, he puts the razor away and pulls out his giant knife and is pretending to shave with the knife.
I think that joke and the watch joke are two of my favorite jokes.
Yeah,
of like
I love
so
it.
good.
Yeah.
And I think she's onto it. Like, doesn't she seem to give like a chuckle? This.
No, I don't think she knows.
I thought she did.
Which is so funny because he puts the razor like
It's
right
tucked
in
in his
his
waistband.
tucked in his pants,
Yeah.
and he leaves it there.
Yeah.
So she could clearly see it if she wanted to, right?
Yeah. So Sue, looking fucking incredible. She takes her tape recorder. She begins, like, I guess, taking notes for her story.
Right.
She's like saying the landscape is, it's beautiful, but it feels empty, and there's a sense of being alone out here. Dundee is listening to all this. He chimes in, well, you're not alone because I'm here. And she says, yeah, but I think I can imagine, how you must have felt or how I'd feel myself
Right.
if I was out here alone. And he gives a chuckle, and he's like, a city girl like you wouldn't last 5 minutes out here. This is man's country, which is kind of like a little cringy.
Okay.
That's a little shitty of him because he's kind of literally laughing at her.
Right.
Like, again, I don't think he means, though, for it to be hurtful. I think he's just like, oh, you wouldn't last a second out
That
here. And
sounds
maybe
like
he's
something my
right. I
granddad
don't.
would say to me, right?
Yeah, it's just like I'm an old school dude,
Yeah.
and like there's a spiders, and you don't know what you could eat, and whatever else is going on here. He's just extremely blunt, I think.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, the Australian outback isn't like walking through the woods in New York State, right? Like the Australian outback is a lot more dangerous than
Everything can kill you.
Yeah.
So it's not just that she's a Sheila, but it's like this is literally the
She's an
Australian
untrained
outback.
This is
Sheila.
a different world.
Yeah.
But so that she says, oh, that's right, I'm only a Sheila. And Dundee gets a little bit of a look on his face, I thought, where he's like, oh, maybe I was too harsh on her. So Sue, she's determined now. She says she's going to go on ahead by herself. And, let's just meet at our next stop.
At that rocky escarpment up ahead.
Escarpment is a great
I
word.
know, I was like, what
It
is
is.
an escarpment?
It's like exactly like an out rocky
just
thing jutting up
like
out of the earth,
Stone
right?
Mountain, but smaller.
Yeah. So Dundee tells her, well, take the rifle with you, and if you get in trouble, fire some shots off in the air. She picks it up. She's checking it out. He very, patronizingly
he
says, that's the dangerous.
But again, I think to Mike's point that I think that this is Mick Dundee maybe a little bit playing the part, but maybe also he doesn't know that he's being misogynistic. I think
it's just the world he grew up in.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see that. I mean, it's a little dickish, but,
I was kind of surprised he let her go. Like, I'm surprised that he didn't really try to talk
It's
her
kind
out
of
of
awesome
it.
that he was like, take the gun.
Yeah, like,
he
all right, see
knew,
ya.
right? Like, I'm going to follow her. She won't know I'm there, I guess. Like, I'll be
That's also-
I'll be
This is a
nearby,
dream.
Sure.
whatever. But, yeah, I do like, though, she shows, that she can handle herself.
Oh, yeah,
She takes
yeah.
that rifle, she cocks it and shoots it, like, about an inch away from his toe.
Sure. This is actually a really good character development because
Yeah, she can handle herself a little bit.
Picked it up and like
From
shot
weekends
wildly
of
and-
skeet shooting on her father's,
Not only that,
her
like, she
father's
used to do, like,
club.
that whatever, pentathlon.
Yeah.
Like the biathlon. I do cross country skiing and sniping.
That's some shit she would do. We'll get into that later, though.
So
Sniping. That shit was developed in Russia, right? Had to have been.
I'm sure.
For Ukraine.
or Finland.
Belarus. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's
Finland.
put you on some skis and give you a gun. That sounds
It's
like
like some
something,
James Bond shit.
So Dundee, though, he looks surprised that she knew how to handle that gun.
Yeah.
As she goes marching off. And I guess what's happening here, I think, is they're like both learning not to judge a book by its cover
Yeah.
a little bit. Like, she's like, oh, he saved me from the snake. He was like, he handled the kangaroo hunters,
Yeah.
whatever they were. Now, as she's making her way through this rugged terrain, we got real tense music is playing.
Mm-hmm.
We see Dundee is sort of following her, but he's keeping out of sight. There's this moment where he's like cat-like walking along a tree branch almost.
Took his shoes off.
And this is where we've seen her, where she's apparently at some point stopped to get out her floppy hat and mosquito netting wrap or whatever the shit.
Uh-huh.
Like, what?
Where'd that
Honestly,
come from?
So it kind of throws the whole scene off for me. I know that
As soon
sounds
as I saw her, I
weird.
was like, what the fuck?
Because she comes out of nowhere
Where'd you
with like
get
this,
that?
this
Hey.
elegant like hat and wrap, and it's like, where, like what?
I feel like even someone that is upper crust.
No, it's out of place, completely out of
Yeah.
place. I don't
Yeah.
understand why she. I don't understand why she wears. I understand why she wears a hat, but it's kind of like Romancing Stone, where he was like, "No, you can't wear these
high heels and
out
shit."
in this
Yeah.
in the like, why are you wearing that stupid hat? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
I think, I don't know.
I do love that he's following her through the trees now, like,
He's sneaking
like Tarzan,
along.
like
he's doing that like
Tarzan.
cat-like shit where I think that sort of sets the stage for what we'll see later. He's just very like nimble and agile, whatever. So she stops to cool down at a pond. She strips down to her swimsuit, and Dundee's reaction was the same as my own. I think, man, when she takes that skirt off, it's like, holy shit. Like, that image is burned into my brain. That was like the moment, I think, that I realized how pleasing the female form could be.
Where do you go, Linda?
Yeah, dude. I mean, 10-year-old Kevin was like, holy shit.
Yeah. So it kind of makes you think, like, why is she dressing like that in front of Dundee anyway? Not that she knew that he was there watching her,
right?
But she still put that swimsuit on, right? Like, that's not a normal.
It's not hiking gear.
Yeah, that's not a hiking swimsuit, right?
Yeah, she's kind of doing it fashionably.
Yeah.
She's like,
which explains the hat and the scarf and everything.
Her mosquito net scarf.
Yeah, but man, it's like, woo, she was stunning. Way to go! I think presumably she might be single right now.
How often do you think she's asked about that scene, like Linda Kozlowski?
I don't know. I wonder if she's on Twitter. I'll look for her. I'll slide in those DMs.
What is she, like 60 now?
Oh, at
Yeah,
least.
he's 83, so yeah.
Yeah, I bet she's still got it going on, man. I'll
Probably.
never.
I mean, they got a lot of money, right?
Yeah, she probably got a good. I don't know if he had a prenup on that. She got half of that Dundee money.
I don't know what the law is in Australia, but or where they got married, for that matter.
Anyway, as she approaches the water, seems like Dundee was about to try to warn her.
Right.
I think he bolts up, but he busts his head on that tree branch and falls down. Now she's like splashing water on her face. She's going to refill her canteen. This huge croc comes up out of the water.
Probably bigger than the one that Mick got attacked by.
Yeah, the one that jumps out seems like the biggest animal in the movie.
Sure.
And that's a great jump scare.
Big time.
The thing, like, it snaps its jaws closed. It grabs the canteen that she was holding out, which was like strapped around her neck.
Right.
So now they're in like a tug of war.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I know your adrenaline would be pumping in this moment, but I don't think there's any way that she doesn't get pulled in.
Yeah, she's losing
at that
fight
moment.
for sure.
Well,
she's dead.
I
She'd
feel
be
like
dead.
she could have just ducked her head and the canteen would have just come off.
Well, she's a Sheila, though.
But I don't know I don't think you can judge anyone's reaction in that moment. Are you thinking about anything except trying to pull back? I don't know. But yeah, you're right. Dundee, though, he comes quickly, like, running in.
That's a badass shot of him, like, leaping over things.
The camera,
Uh-huh.
The hero shot for sure.
And right as the strap on that canteen snaps, Dundee just jumps right on top of the croc, like not a moment's hesitation. Plunges that huge knife like in the top of his skull.
Right.
That's not the first croc. I mean, obviously the croc that bit him, but that's not the first two crocs that he's ever killed, right? He's done this before.
Oh, yeah, well, he's a poacher.
Yeah.
But he's usually doing it with a rifle, I guess.
Reformed poacher.
That was a rad kill, though, man.
Yeah.
Where, like, puts the knife in and then, like, twists
Twists
it.
it, yeah. Now he goes and he comforts Sue, who's in shock. You know, she's like, is it dead? He's like, well, if it's not, I'm going to have a hell of a job skinning the bastard.
That thing was huge. That was like the shark in Jaws huge, right?
Oh, dude,
like
it's 20 foot.
25.
It's clearly not like a real living
Quint getting so many
creature.
shouts out in this.
I don't know, man.
podcast.
Jaws is classic,
Yeah.
though. That's
Same
why.
kind of crazy bastard.
But yeah, that was huge.
Enormous.
Yeah.
For my wildlife lovers out there, might recognize it also as an alligator, or like at least it was shaped. It didn't have a crocodile-shaped head. It was an alligator-shaped head, but whatever. That seems like a bad oversight, though.
Yeah,
maybe they
huge.
outsourced them. Give us a croc, and it turns up the day of from the Americans, you know, and it's like an alligator, and they're like, well, fuck.
So you're saying? But so
I just think
that was an alligator.
Well, I think they shape. I think it was a fake thing manufactured by men.
Sure, yeah. So why not make it a fake crocodile?
Yeah, why not shape the head right?
Sure.
But I think it was probably just a mistake by whatever. I don't know. I might axe the whole thing out of the podcast because I don't like talking bad about Crocodile Dundee at all. So now, later that night, Sue is sort of kicking herself that Dundee was right, you know, about this not being a place for her out here. Dundee tries to soothe her, saying that, you know, from what I hear from Walt, you know, these cities can be just as dangerous.
That's very charitable of him.
and he's not wrong, I guess.
No.
Yeah, I feel like he's like, now is not the time to play the macho asshole.
Especially like 80s New York, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Pre-Giuliani.
Yeah.
That shit was dangerous.
For real. So
I had, before we started recording, I had mentioned that I don't think that this movie could be made right now.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that they made Sue like a strong character all the way up to that point, where then she kind of like...
She's kicking herself over this thing?
Yeah, a little bit, because she kind of gives in to the idea that she couldn't make it in the Outback.
Well, she's just... It's like...
she's scared, I get it.
And she's out of her element. The same way, like, could Dundee make it on his own in New York? Probably not.
Yeah,
like,
but
he needs someone to show him around.
But whether it be right or wrong, I just don't think that they would have a female character that would show a flaw like that.
I'm curious about that new Jungle Cruise movie. With The Rock and Emily Blunt, and if she's just a strong go-getter and she can take care of herself, or if
I haven't seen it, but I guarantee she's kicking ass, and Rock is a stumbling, guarantee.
I hope so. I hope it's good.
Yeah, I mean,
do y'all listen to The Critical Drinker by any chance on YouTube?
No, but it sounds like a thing I should listen to.
You guys would love The Critical Drinker, absolutely.
Does he talk movies?
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
But if you get a chance, listen to him. He has like a good theory on this.
I love it.
So Sue asks him if he's ever lived in the city, and he says he's never been to a city, which is like, I think Paul Hogan is now so synonymous with this character that you can forget that he's not this guy.
Right.
Like, because Paul Hogan was a city guy. He was born in Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he grew up working in the city and everything like that. But, yeah, Crocodile Dundee, never been to a city, I guess. He says he thinks that cities are crowded, and if he went, he'd only make it worse.
I like that
It's
mentality.
it's a nice little philosophy, yeah.
Do you think that this would be the equivalent of like an Atlanta guy writing a movie about like a Georgia, like a southern,
South Georgia
like
guy.
a South Georgia guy? Would that
Like
be the equivalent?
And I'm trying to think of the most rural place in North or South Georgia.
If you're a
like if an
Deliverance or
Atlanta
some
guy
shit.
wrote like Deliverance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would that-
where
do you
you're
think
maybe
this is
paying, and maybe you get by with it because you are from there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
So I'm not going to mention names, but there's this guy on the opera circuit, and he's having a great...
Pavarotti.
That guy's dead. He's having a great career, like, very talented guy, but, like, he pitches himself to media and opera companies as being this guy that grew up in the back fucking woods of Texas, 30 minutes north of Houston. Like,
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
the mean
I
streets
thought you were gonna
of
say it's
the
a
mean
slim
streets of the
way.
Houston
it's
suburbs.
it wasn't Detroit in the 80s.
Sure,
let's just say that.
Where were we? Oh, in the meantime,
You can cut that out.
in the meantime, Dundee has whipped up some sort of a balm to treat Sue's injured backside. She must have like hurt it when she.
I think this is Kevin's second.
Dude,
She fell and scraped it
Well, I like
on the rocky shoals.
I like her, she says it's just a scratch, and he's like, well, a scratch can turn septic out here. And he's like, come on, let me have a look at you.
Let me look at that ass.
He has her assume the position, and
Wow.
then he hears something off in the darkness, and he goes to check it out.
The line, she's like, it's like living with Davy Crockett.
I wonder, is Davy Crockett something that kids today know who that is at all? No reference?
I hope they do. It's a big part of American history.
Coonskin Cap?
Kind of.
Living in the
Killed him
Tennessee,
a bear when he was only 3. Davy,
wasn't he also at the Alamo?
And an Australian wrote this, so
Yeah.
He's
he knew
worldwide. He's globally
Davy
known.
Crockett was at the Alamo?
I think so.
Or is that David Bowie was at the Alamo?
He might have been there too.
Both Davies.
not David Bowie.
David Bowie was was at the
Jim
Alamo.
Bowie.
Jim Bowie.
Not David Bowie. If David Bowie was there, that'd be incredible.
The white duke, the thin white
The
duke.
thin white Duke was there. Fucking Ziggy
Starman.
Stardust himself.
That would be amazing.
Oh
They
my
would have
God.
kicked ass at the Alamo if David Bowie had been there. Anyway.
So Sue, she hears a noise from out in the darkness, and she sees this figure approaching.
Oh no.
A face appears from behind a tree. It's kind of got the tribal face paint on, startling
no.
Sue. That's a scene that feels like, oh, this movie is in danger of turning super offensive. Like at that moment.
But as a kid, did you think that?
No,
I didn't.
You're as a kid, you're totally naive.
As a kid, like.
But you're like, oh boy, is it like? Oh.
But even like if you look at
what are we doing here?
You look at American like a Native American war paint, and then Australian Aboriginal tribal paint, especially like in this situation. I mean, there's something very ethereal and otherworldly about it, which I think is the point. But it's like even seeing this scene, having watched it, and I haven't watched this movie in years, seeing that paint on Neville brought back this feeling of like, wow, it's so like mystical and otherworldly. It's very cool.
He has such a striking face too, Neville.
But honestly, don't you think like a regular white guy could have just stuck his head out of that and it would have been still as scary because you're in the middle of it.
More scary.
Yeah,
maybe.
Like it could have been anybody that stuck their head out from behind that tree.
I just found myself like, oh boy, what are we doing here now? We're introducing like now a threatening sort of person of color.
Agreed.
Sure,
here, and it's like, but Dundee appears behind the man and holds his knife to his throat, and then Neville's high-pitched sort of voice.
Mick, you fry shit out of me.
He's like, so I ought to me. Sneaking off on a man when he's rendering first aid to a lady.
That's such a good line.
Oh, is that what you I love that joke.
Neville.
Dundee got a good kick out of it, too.
Neville is awesome.
That's amazing.
It's kind of funny that he could see, this is going to sound crazy, but he could like literally see what they were doing from that far away. Like he was observing them as he was walking up.
So Dundee introduces his friend Neville, who's played by David Bowie. Maybe something along those lines. He's an Australian celebrity in his own right. He's a famous tribal dancer. Now, I get the impression from this that the filmmakers were like making it a priority, I think, to try to be respectful and reverent in the way that they depicted Aboriginal people. You know, Dundee asks Neville, "What are you doing out here in the dark?" Neville says he's on his way to the corroboree.
Corroboree. Yeah.
He's not thrilled about it, but his dad's going to be mad at him if he doesn't show up.
And I think that's like I've read a lot of articles recently and listened to a lot of things, especially during the pandemic, talking about the transmission of Native rights and stories and customs here in the U.S. especially, but that it's like a lot of the younger people are like, oh, God, I don't want to do this. But then the older people are like, come on, you got to do this. And so like this made sense. I was like, that makes sense.
I'm into it, dude.
Yeah.
I think it's like it paints a more complex character than
Definitely.
he's, a bushman or whatever. Dundee, explains that Neville, he lives in the city, but his dad is a tribal elder. Now, another great gag, Sue goes to take a picture of him, and he's like, oh, no, you can't take my picture. It's like, oh, you're afraid this is going to take your spirit away. Like, no, you got the lens cap on.
Well, first of all, how presumptuous is it of her as a reporter to be like, I'm just going to take this guy's picture without asking?
Start snapping.
What the fuck?
The movie, though, continues to like play to our preconceptions on like what these rugged backcountry types must be like.
Yeah.
There's also the great moment of like Neville's wearing a Rolex.
He looks at his like nice gold
shiny watch like city watch. Yeah, it's amazing, dude. So this is interesting to me. I'd always thought, as I mentioned before, like this movie Australians might find it offensive.
Right.
Like we're not like that. These kind of characters, especially the donks and nuggets,
of the world,
the pub crew is like the Australian version of hillbillies or whatever. But I'm intrigued by this because I think it was the writer Shady who said this, that he thought when they were making the movie or writing it, they did not really think that anyone outside of Australia is ever going to see this. Like it'll be a little Australian movie.
That's true. That's awesome if it is.
And if that's the case, then it'd be like it's more like what am I trying to say? That you're not painting a picture of this is what Australians are like for the rest of the world. It's more like maybe for urban Australians.
Or it's like, I know that guy. Like, I know a donk. That's my uncle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like your country type relatives or whatever.
You can have a little laugh at them, but not in a harmful way.
But they didn't think of this as like a global phenomenon that it might become at the time. It was just like, oh yeah, we're just writing a movie that's, because I don't think many movies outside of Mad Max had really broken out to be a global hit. Maybe Gallipoli was out by then.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's food for thought. I don't know. So Dundee, he says he's going to go with Neville to pay his respects. Sue asks if she can come, and Dundee's like, no, women are strictly taboo at these gatherings. So as Neville leaves, Sue's asking Dundee, like, how does he find his way in the dark?
Here comes some bullshit.
He says, well, some people believe that Aboriginal people are telepathic. They think their way. Then we hear this like loud crash.
Yeah. I hate the bush.
I hate the bush.
It's like a crash and a splash. It's like Neville's falling in a hole.
Yeah, I love that.
There are some really great jokes in this movie, and it's cool because they're definitely like Australian jokes, but anybody can get them. Anybody can understand the humor behind
again,
it.
to your point, what you were just saying, it probably was for the benefit of like urban Australians that were probably like
they have their own preconceptions.
Aboriginals are just like backwards people, and it's like, no, this guy works in the city and he goes home on the weekends to hang out with his tribe.
It's like a family. It's like the fucking family reunion or whatever.
It's like your fucking family reunion, except not near as cool. I mean, their family reunion's cooler than yours.
Yeah.
I do feel a little bit like the telepathy bit plays a little bit into those same type of stereotypes that we often see with Native Americans.
Yeah.
Like there's something mystical about them or supernatural, whatever. They're one with nature.
Yeah, Mick and Walt are definitely trying to paint this mythology of Australia to Sue in the hopes that she'll write it that way. But at every turn, something happens that disproves what they're doing, right? But like I was saying earlier, I don't really understand why they're doing that because I feel like Mick is the person that he's trying to fable himself out to be.
Yeah.
Right? He's got those abilities.
Yeah.
So
he's got the touch.
Yeah. You got the touch.
He really does. 'Cause he just goes like trotting like completely stealthily out into the darkness. It's amazing. Now at the corroboree is in full swing as Sue sort of sneaks up on it.
Love it.
Then the actor Gopilil, he choreographed all the dancing stuff for the movie.
The dancing in this scene is awesome.
Yeah. The music is like
so
great
badass.
as well. Awesome stuff. So Sue is looking through her viewfinder. She's looking for that perfect shot. She sees Dundee in there. He's got his shirt off. His face and chest painted.
I love that he's accepted into the mix.
Well, I mean, is this the tribe that he grew up in? Maybe.
I feel like,
Maybe.
Or
That's
they
why
know,
he knows Neville so well.
or if he's like a guest, they know that he's part of the community.
He's respected in the community.
Yeah.
Now Dundee instantly notices her as well.
Yeah, that's very cool.
She quickly lowers her camera and leaves. That's the moment where I think we can understand there's something about this guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Again, he doesn't have to keep trying to pump himself up to be something that he already is.
Sure.
He's a shaman.
He's Billy from Predator.
Totally.
He knows something's out there. He just So later on that night, Dundee is returning to camp. Sue asks him outright, is he telepathic? He seems to give it some thought. He's like, how do I answer this? And then he's like, nah, it's common sense. You're a woman. You're a reporter. That makes you the biggest busybody in the world.
Again, that would not fly today, I don't think, right?
I mean,
that line, the whole sentiment behind it.
I think that he in that moment he was trying to be more joking to tell her I told you shouldn't come out.
I knew you would anyway.
Yeah, I can live with that.
And she sort of accepts that ribbing from.
What if he had just said if he had said originally? I mean, he did say women were taboo. If he had said women aren't allowed, would that have made a? I don't know. Who knows?
But she marvels over the events of the day. She says that croc was going to eat me alive. And Dundee, killer game.
Baller.
Game was on point. He's like, I wouldn't hold that against him. The same thought crossed my mind once or twice. It's that is, hell yes.
And he's not thirsty, right? He's not
no, because he played it cool and he just pulled his hat down.
And he's just
He Han Solo'd the shit out of that.
She was charmed as hell too.
Yeah. He's a player for
He's
sure.
a smooth operator.
Smooth operator.
Oh my God. Okay, that's a great point to leave it off.
Oh, I'm
for
sad.
this episode.
I guess I need more Fosters if we're
We'll be
going to
back and
continue.
pour another one out, crack another one of these.
Mike, thanks
fat
for being
boys.
with us.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
Enjoy being here, man.
It's nostalgia.
We're
gonna-
nostalgia on
You're
nostalgia.
gonna make me put a babysitter on my kids all the time.
We're going to tuck you all into our marsupial pouch of awesomeness for the next exciting
my
episode.
God.
We'll see you next time.
Yep, we'll be back.